In school, I was the stupid kid. I struggled with learning difficulties, ADHD, dyslexia. I was always segregated from the rest of my fellow students. I always heard from people around me that Andrew isn't academic, but he excels on a sports field. So I started to believe this from a very, very young age. I would hear from my friends at the time in our guys group. Nothing against them now because it was just boys being boys, but we would all slag each other. I would fucking slag one of my mates, and then he'd slag me, and then, you know, all of a sudden it's like, without us even realising, there's bullying going on. Some of it went too far, and for me, that started to become a belief system, right? I started to believe these things that I was being told about myself. In short, fast forward a few years later, I ended up coming across Anthony Robbins' book, one of his books called Awaken the Giant Within. A friend of mine was reading it at the time, and I said, oh, what's that? And opened it up, and loads started to click with me. So I started to make these little changes in my life, and I started to realize that I'm not broken. I just learned differently, and that also was part of the the ADHD, right? It's like when I focused on some certain tasks, I was able to really dial in. Skipping many different things. I'm going to do a longer video on YouTube about this, but I ended up going down the route of studying sports psychology. I ended up setting up my own food van and worked in different kitchens over the years. Studied psychotherapy, literally just finished a certificate there in psychotherapy. And so I've read many books, and some books it's taken me years to finish, and some I've finished faster. I proved them all wrong. But yeah, no, it just shows I started to learn on my terms, not the classrooms. So I was able to understand myself more and not just believe what people told me, that I just was not smart. Like, that's literally just what I thought. I just literally thought I was not good enough. I just wasn't as good as other people. Now I coach people to be the best versions of themselves. I help people transform their lives. I help people reduce stress, bring more calm into their lives. All these things that I suffered with, I now coach people because I've lived it. I've experienced it. I've been through the freaking trenches. The kid who was always told he's not good enough, I now coach people on mindset, resilience, performance. So if school told you, or someone told you, that you aren't good enough and you're not going to achieve anything, just know that you can change that around too. So if I can do it, you can do it. You could implement this into any area of your life, right? We all get knocked down at different periods. Want to reach out to me and ask me anything, feel free to drop me a message. If you want to work with me, drop me a message and we can chat more. I know what it's like to be at the bottom of the pit and then to crawl my way back. I know what steps need to be taken to change your life. People are going to doubt you along the way. People still do now. Go get it.